Good morning guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a good old-fashioned perfume video. I haven't done a perfume dedicated video in a while, and as many of you know, I was looking for a summer freshie because that was the one part of my collection that I didn't have was a good fresh shampoo-y perfume, and we had some super hot weather. So I got a couple of freshies, and it occurs to me that over the last couple of months I have enough new additions to my perfume collection that I can kind of do a mini collective haul. As I mentioned before, just because I decluttered and minimized, it doesn't mean I still didn't love perfume and want to discover and enjoy perfumes. But today's video is going to be just a good old-fashioned fun perfume sort of collective little mini haul. I wasn't really intending to do a haul, but yeah, I have enough now that I can do just a small collective haul. So I hope that you guys enjoy today's video. And if you haven't already subscribed, I would love if you consider doing so. You can also feel free to follow me on Instagram, and I would also love if you would head on over to my second channel, which is a beauty dedicated channel, and check that out and subscribe there if you like those vibes as well. And without further ado, let's get into today's video. Alright, good morning guys. So today's video is very impromptu. I wasn't planning to make a video at all, but I wanted to do just a quick little perfume review for you guys. So even though I have decluttered my collection and it's a relatively small collection and I'm not really doing the full-time perfume reviewing thing anymore like I was a couple of years ago, I've still been, discovering a couple that I like, and I've definitely added a couple to my collection over the last couple of months, and I just received an Arabic perfume a few days ago that I wanted to share with you guys. And just so that you know, I will be doing a full kind of an Arabic perfume haul and review. I wouldn't have purchased all these perfumes just for myself, but because I have a YouTube channel, I thought I can review them for you guys. And whatever ones I don't like, I can pass on. Whatever ones I do like, if I want to keep them, I can keep them. They were so affordable. I just thought it would be a really fun little video idea, and I haven't done that in a long time. I haven't done like a purposeful perfume purchase slash haul slash review for you guys in a long time, and I really used to enjoy doing that. So even though I don't want to grow a huge collection, even though I'm not really actively collecting or, like I said, full-time reviewing, I thought that this would be a fun idea. So today's video, it occurs to me that I have enough perfumes to do sort of a mini collective haul. So these are the perfumes that I've added over the last month or two, couple of months. And yeah, I just wanted to review a couple of them with you. A couple of them are new releases. I know that a lot of people would be interested in hearing my thoughts on them, especially the new really hyped up one from Replica that's kind of getting 50-50 hits and misses reviews. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And yeah, without too much further ado, you guys, let's get into today's little mini collective perfume haul. Of course, I am sipping coffee in my beautiful new Hello Pumpkin mug that I got from HomeSense a little while ago. I cannot help myself when it comes to pumpkin stuff. And this was so cute. It holds so much coffee, and I just, like, as soon as I picked it up, I knew I would immediately love drinking coffee from this during the fall, because I love fall. This is my favorite time of year. I love the pumpkins, I love the leaves, I love just all the fall vibes. So yeah, happy fall. Okay, so let's start off in the order that I purchased them. So this one is a travel size of the newest release from Replica. This is Afternoon Delight. So I don't have the notes in front of me. I want to tell you just like what I get from this perfume, what it smells like to me, and overall how I feel about it. I think that's what I'm going to do for the perfumes in today's video. This perfume has been getting mixed reviews from what I've heard. I haven't watched any reviews on it. I actually don't consume perfume review content pretty much at all. I don't watch any perfume channels anymore. I just have a couple of friends who really like perfumes, and I talk to them on a regular basis, and so we've kind of shared conversation about perfumes there. And I have a friend who told me that this perfume is actually not getting great reviews, and she said that people are very quick to judge it without giving it a full proper wear, and also that people have different expectations for this perfume. So people are expecting, because this is, I guess, Replica's first real gourmand fragrance, and so people expected it to be, I guess, super gourmand, very foodie, and it is gourmand, but let's just get into it. So I got rid of all of my perfume testing strips because I don't really do this anymore, but I have toilet paper, so that's gonna have to work. Okay, so let me just tell you what I get from this when I first smell it. The first time I sprayed this, I was not impressed. I actually put a post a little bit too quickly out on my Instagram and my stories and said that I was really disappointed with this perfume. I was expecting or hoping it to be kind of a warm, cozy vanilla was kind of what I wanted. And when I first spray it, remind me not to use toilet paper again. It has a funky, it's kind of screwing with the smell, but I do know what it smells like. So when I first spray it, I do get almost a little bit of a synthetic, almost ambroxan-y kind of feel. And there is no ambroxan listed in this perfume, but that's what I get when I first spray it. I get like some sort of a pastry, buttercream, cozy, woody vibe. And then I also got like this sort of strong, synthetic, chemically, almost ambroxan-like kind of scent. And I wasn't fond of it. I think I'm gonna have to switch to some different paper because this actually is not working very well. But what I will say about this is that I wasn't impressed with it when I first smelled it. I thought it smelled very fake, very chemically. I got sort of like this pastry-like almondy kind of feel that I wasn't really a fan of. There was something about that like bakery pastry undertone that did not mix well with my skin. I didn't like the way that it smelled, and it really turned me off from the fragrance. I did like the overall cozy vanilla vibes that I got from it. I will say that the first few days I tried it on my skin, I was not really a fan. I was really disappointed. I was planning on returning this travel spray. However, on the advice of my friend, I decided to spray it on clothing and just let it sit and come back and kind of smell it again the next day and just take my time with it and spray it more on clothing. That's what I did, and she was 100% right. When you wear this on clothing, it is a completely different feel than when you wear it on skin. And something about it being mixed with your clothing just makes it even more cozy. It makes it more comforting. And now what I get from it when I smell it at the bottle, even, like, it's completely changed how I perceive this perfume. Because like I said, that first initial blast and on skin, I wasn't a real big fan. Now that I've experienced it on clothing, now when I actually take the cap off and smell it, I actually have a different perception of it now. So I believe that there is vanilla in here. I believe that there's sandalwood. And that's kind of what I get from it now, is like this cozy, vanilla-y, sandalwoody kind of feeling, kind of vibe. It kind of reminds me almost like a tiny touch in the Raja Sweetie Oud direction. If you've ever smelled that, it almost kind of smells like Raja Sweetie Oud, but without the oud. And of course, it doesn't smell quite as luxurious and high-end as Raja. I used to have Sweetie Oud. It was one of the most expensive perfumes I ever had in my collection, and it didn't work for me because it had this kind of scratchy dry down on my skin. The dry down was kind of like a scratchy, almost a herbal quality that didn't work for me. It just did not mix well with my skin chemistry at all. But the rest of it was lovely. The rest of Sweetie Oud was kind of like this cozy, warm fall bakery. And that's what this gives me. It gives me cozy fall bakery, but also very vanilla-y. My friend says that it makes her feel like she's sitting in like a really posh cafe, having some sort of dessert and drinking coffee, and it's those vibes. And for me, I don't know if that's what I really get from it. A little bit. One perfume it kind of reminds me also of that I think it would be amazing with is Coffee Break. And apparently Coffee Break is going to be phased out, which makes me really sad because this perfume mixed with a coffee lavender would be phenomenal. This perfume, I think, smells the best on freshly washed clothing. You know, when your clothing has that laundry fresh vibe, like Tide or Gain or something like that, that really fresh out of the wash smell. And then you put this on top. Something about it is just amazing. It's really, really nice for fall. This came out at the perfect time of year. It isn't overly gourmand. It doesn't smell just like something I would want to eat, but there's touches of that in there. There's touches of vanilla, there's touches of pastry. There is a gourmand undertone, but it also has a very nice balance of sort of this musky, woody quality. And it is very cozy. And you know what I like about it actually, and I've told people this before, I don't want to smell exactly like a food. If you make a gourmand perfume that is too foody, it's kind of a turnoff. It's like, okay, I like the way that smells, but I would want to eat that. I wouldn't want to wear that. It's like, I wouldn't want to smell like a cookie. I wouldn't want to smell like a cake or something. But I want little touches of that in there, but I also want you to add like some florals or some woody notes or some oud or some musk or something to just make it a little bit more aromatic or a little bit more perfumey, not so that it's just straight up like a food. If you smell those gourmand perfumes that are nothing but gourmand notes, it can be overwhelming. It can be to the point that you don't even want to wear it because it's just so foody, and it can actually be a bit of a turnoff with that perfume. So I would say that even though this isn't as super gourmand as maybe some people were hoping or expecting, it's a very nice balance. It's exactly what I think they should have done, and I think it's a great release for Replica. It does smell like a Replica perfume. It does smell expensive, and it smells realistic, and it has everything I would expect from Maison Margeila, actually. So I think that they did a really nice job with this perfume. You can see I do have a bit of a dent in here. Now that I have a smaller perfume collection, I've actually been wearing my perfumes more often. I made this my scent of the day for 2 days in a row a couple weeks ago, and it was really enjoyable. I will say it doesn't have the best sillage or longevity. It's not a beast. It's not really, really weak, but I do feel like I have to overspray. But it's just really enjoyable and relaxing and cozy, perfect for fall. I think that if they could have added, like, you know what would have been good is if you're going to discontinue Coffee Break, they should have rolled it into this perfume. Add a note of coffee, maybe add a little cardamom, maybe add a little lavender. This would have been phenomenal. Scent of my dreams. That's what it would have been. And part of me, I'm not going to lie, because I don't have Coffee Break, part of me wants Coffee Break and a full bottle of this just so I can mix them together, because I think that that combination would be incredible, and I kind of want to test that out. This for me is like, this has everything that Coffee Break was kind of missing. It does smell similar to Coffee Break. It has Coffee Break vibes, but this one adds that sort of pastry undertone, and it's missing the obviously specific coffee note, and it's missing the aromatic quality from the lavender. This one is like more feminine, whereas Coffee Break leans a little more masculine, although I guess they're both unisex, but this one definitely for me is more feminine. And this one gives me all the feels of like, it's fall outside, there's leaves on the ground, I want to go through Starbucks, I want to get a fall drink of some sort and just enjoy the weather and buy makeup. That's what it makes me want to do. So that's my feelings on Afternoon Delight. I think it's quite addictive. I'm really sad at how expensive Replica perfumes are, because they're over $200 at this point, and they don't have smaller bottles. They've got travel size and they've got full size, and I don't want to buy 2 full-size Replica perfumes. That's like a huge investment, but I would really love to have Coffee Break to mix with this one. And also the bottles are just beautiful, so I think they're really aesthetic and really pretty, and I have yet to find a Replica perfume that is, you know, my forever Replica. I've been through a lot of them. I've tried quite a few of them, and although I like a lot of the scents, a lot of them are not for me, but this one could definitely be a contender. But like I say, I do think it's missing a little something extra. Side note, I still kind of want a bottle of Acro Awake, which also goes in this warm, cozy, woody, spicy direction, but that one actually has coffee and it's much more spicy. This one is a lot lighter and more lighthearted and more fluffy and airy and daytime, and definitely not as strong. Acro Awake is an absolute beast. You get much more bang for your buck with Acro Awake. If you want that kind of coffee shop feel, you're going to get coffee, you're going to get cardamom, you're going to get vanilla, you're going to get spices, you're going to get woody notes, and it's just phenomenal for fall, and it's so affordable. A 30 ml bottle is $90, and the quality is just out of this world compared to these type of like bakery coffee shop perfumes. So those are my thoughts on Afternoon Delight. I think it's a winner. I think they did really good with this one, and part of me sort of wants a full bottle. I just did not want to be hasty. I wanted to really take my time with it. Okay, the second perfume that has made its way into my collection over the last couple of months is Chanel Chance Au Tendre. This I got at duty-free shopping in the airport because, and look at this dent, you guys. I mean, the dent doesn't lie. I have put this dent in here over the last month or so, month and a half, and that's what happens when I have a smaller collection, and also because I've actually been doing things more every day, like doing my hair every day, doing my makeup every day, and putting my best foot forward every day and wearing dresses a lot more often, almost every single day. So that's where this is coming from. That's where this new enjoyment in things, enjoyment in beauty products, enjoyment in makeup, that's where it's kind of coming from, is like, I feel like I've undergone a personal transformation over the last month. And now I'm finally putting to use and enjoying things that formerly would just sit there. Like, there was no point in having a bunch of perfumes if I wasn't wearing perfume every single day, because I did not wear perfume every single day. A lot of my stuff just sat there, so it's no wonder I wanted to declutter and minimize because I just like didn't have a need for all of that. Anyways, so I was at duty free shopping. It was extremely hot. We were having like 30, 35 degree weather every single day Celsius, which is, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's hot. And I just could not bring myself to wear a vanilla perfume, which most of my collection was composed of vanilla perfumes. And I needed a good freshie. And so I just grabbed this one on a whim because I knew that this one would fit the bill. I knew that this one was fresh and shampooey and light. And I knew that it would kind of quench my thirst when it came to hot summer weather. So Chanso Tendre, this is the eau de parfum. There is an eau de toilette and an eau de parfum. This one is less fruity and fresh and a little bit more floral and musky, but this one does have better longevity than the eau de toilette. So if you're looking for something lighter, fresher, more effervescent that's going to disappear faster, but is a little even more fresh, even more fruity, go with the eau de toilette. But if you want something that is going to have better longevity and is a little bit more kind of classy, mature, sophisticated, this one is just a touch more in that direction, although they pretty much smell the same. So if memory serves me correctly, I believe we have quince in here as one of the fruity notes. I believe that there is rose. I want to say that there's a little bit of vanilla and musk. And then I can't remember what other notes are in here. I think that's what's in here. It's been a while. I'm a little rusty with perfume stuff because it's just been a while since I've done this. But this is such a great fragrance. It is just mass pleasing, compliment getting. Boyfriend loves this. Like when I purchased it and I tried it on and I showed it to him, he was like, yes, I really like that one. Good choice. It's just such a compliment getter. It's such a man magnet as well. Men really like when women smell fresh and clean, and that's what this is. It is fresh and clean and shampooey, fresh out of the shower, and perfect for hot weather. It doesn't have amazing longevity. That being said, depending on the fabric I spray it on, I can still smell this on certain dresses and certain sweaters and stuff days after I've sprayed it. It doesn't last forever on my skin. I feel like people smell this more than I do on myself. I feel like I don't pick it up on myself as much, but people around still smell it. And yeah, everybody just seems to really like it. So I knew that when I was looking for a hot summer perfume, something that was going to be uplifting and refreshing, I knew that this one was going to be just a slam dunk, and like I couldn't go wrong. This was one of my favorite Chanel perfumes back when I actually did have a huge collection, and it was between this one and the original Chance, by the way, just the original one with the gold letters. I used to have that one in eau de toilette form. I also used to have it in eau de parfum form, and that one is just timeless, elegant, classy. It really smells like a rich woman, and it really smells like Chanel. This one is kind of like a more, I don't want to say it, it's not in a bad way, not in an offensive way, but like a dumbed down sort of shampooey, younger crowd, modernized mix between Chanel and Marc Jacobs. This one is like classic Chanel meets Marc Jacobs. That's what it is. It smells a little bit like Daisy from Marc Jacobs, which is also a really good freshie, and they have a lot of similar nuances, but I do prefer this one because it does have that classic Chanel undertone to it. The next perfume is one that I bought sort of on a whim, but it felt very, very right when I purchased it. Since I've been putting my best foot forward, I guess, doing my hair more often, leaving it down more often, wearing a full face of makeup more often, actually getting good at doing my makeup. Because when I was younger, when I was in my early 20s, mid-20s, I wore makeup all the time. And it just seemed like as I got older, I felt like my skin looked better with less and less makeup. And maybe that's because as you get older, having too much foundation or having too much powder or whatever just doesn't look good on your skin. And I still have fairly young looking skin, but I just, in my 30s, I feel like I can get away with less than I could when I was 22, obviously. So anyway, since I've been putting my best foot forward, doing a full face of makeup, learning what works for me, getting better at that, wearing dresses every day, wearing jewelry every day, and wearing perfume more often, I was at Sephora, I was browsing, I was buying a couple of products, and I saw this on the shelf and it said J'adore au Lumiere, and I thought this was a new J'adore, and I was like, okay, let me smell this because I have always been a fan of the J'adore fragrance. And the opening just immediately won me over, and I actually thought it was a new perfume at the time. So it was kind of a novelty thing. I thought, oh my gosh, this new J'adore is amazing. I have to have it. It's so nice. It was perfect for that weather. It was a really hot day. This is a very fresh, fruity floral, and it was so light and invigorating and effervescent and uplifting. I just knew that it would be great for me. And after I got it home, I looked it up, and apparently the Lumiere is the same as Eau de Toilette. So it is not a new perfume. This perfume came out in 2011, so it's actually quite old, but it's the Eau de Toilette version. So first of all, the bottle is beautiful. I also, you guys, had gotten my makeup vanity, had recently gotten a makeup vanity and had set it up. And I always envisioned this bottle on my vanity. I don't know why. It just was the perfect perfume to display on my quote-unquote princess vanity. I knew I wanted a J'adore on the vanity, if for nothing else than for aesthetics and for decor, but finding one that I could wear on top of it that I would also enjoy the scent of was a bonus. So okay, so this is a very beautiful, more white floral dominant fragrance. It has fruity notes. It also has magnolia, I believe. I believe that magnolia is the star flower in this perfume. It's also just a tiny, tiny bit woody in the dry down, but primarily it is a fresh, fruity floral. I can't remember what the fruity notes are that are in here. I want to say there's like blood orange or something. Bright, fresh, beautiful, uplifting, invigorating, sophisticated scent. This smells very shampoo-y again. It is a different feeling from Chanel Chance Eau Tendre. Eau Tendre smells younger and more youthful. This smells a little bit more mature. I think it comes down to the type of florals that are used. Whenever you have something like magnolia, or what is the other one? Not magnolia, but the other white floral that I cannot think of right now. Gardenia. Okay, I had to look it up. I'm a little rusty with my notes, you guys, because I used to know this like the back of my hand, and now I'm a little rusty. But yeah, whenever you have notes like tuberose and gardenia and magnolia and sometimes jasmine, it does go in an older, more mature direction, whereas when you have notes like rose and peony, those ones tend to have a more youthful feel. Depending on how it's done, rose can be done in an older feeling as well. This smells like fresh, fruity out of the shower, but also playful and vibrant and a little bit more on the mature side. So it's a beautiful perfume. Again, it does not have great lasting power. Chanel Chance Eau Tendre has better lasting power than this one, I notice. However, this one is the Eau Lumiere. And like I said, when I bought it, I didn't realize I was getting an Eau de Toilette. I just thought I was getting whatever the new release was. However, I heard that there is another J'adore coming out this fall, and I'm kind of intrigued because the last one that they came out with in the white bottle, I don't remember what the name of that one, but the one in the white bottle was kind of a miss for me. Like maybe I would have liked it had I actually worn it, but just smelling it in store, I wasn't really a big fan. So yeah, this one was a little bit sort of a kind of an impulsive purchase, not really. I kind of envisioned it being on my vanity. I was just smelling them all and thought I was getting a new one. However, there's a bit of a dent. I want to appreciate that there is a bit of a dent. I have been wearing this. I have been wearing all of my perfumes. And for hot days, I kind of was going back and forth between this one and the Chance Eau Tendre. The next one here, now this one definitely was a impulsive purchase and I low-key regret it. If I could go back and get my money back, I probably would. Also, I don't advise wearing this if you are walking your dog and it's summertime because you will be hounded by bees and wasps because it smells floral and sweet and delicious. So I haven't formed my full thoughts on this perfume yet. This is the new Gucci Flora Gorgeous Orchid. Basically, I was at Shoppers, I was walking around, I was looking at perfume and looking at makeup and smelling perfumes. I was wearing a nice dress. And I was wearing some nice jewelry and I had my hair done and my makeup done, which I usually don't. Usually when I used to go in the past, when I would go to Shoppers Drug Mart just to look around or whatever, I would kind of just go in whatever I was comfortable in. Usually what I was wearing earlier that day when I was taking the dog for a walk, which would be like leggings and a long sleeve t-shirt. And I would often have my hair just pulled back in a bun or a ponytail or whatever. So I wasn't looking my best or feeling my best. This particular day, when I went there, I was feeling a bomb, like absolutely amazing. I felt so good. I felt so feminine and so at ease and happy. And I got a compliment from the lady who was working there that day. She said, "Wow, you look so lovely. You're wearing a dress." And I said, "Thank you." And I told her, I said, "I've decided that I'm going to start wearing dresses more often because life is too short and I just want to start feeling better about myself every day." And so anyway, it was just like a really nice day. We had a nice conversation and I smelled this one. I had smelled it already before and I wasn't like wowed by it, but I smelled it again and then she sprayed it on her skin. And as we were talking, she was walking by me and I could smell this coming off of her skin and I really liked it. I've wanted a bottle from this line since they came out, but none of them really spoke to me. The one in the purple bottle, can't remember the name of that one. It smells like a Mr. Sketch marker to me. I do not care for it. The one in the pink bottle, which is Gorgeous Gardenia, is that the one? Anyways, it smells very similar to Viva La Juicy, which was okay, but I was like, I don't really know if that's the one for me. Although in hindsight, maybe it would have been the one for me because I do like Viva La Juicy and I still have Gold Couture. And then there was another one in there as well, the blue one, which was the Jasmine. Yes, there was Gorgeous Gardenia, Gorgeous Jasmine, Gorgeous whatever the purple one was, and then this one. And the one in the blue bottle, the Jasmine one, it was okay, but kind of like very jasmine forward and just not my cup of tea. This one was the most vanilla dominant, and also I really like Orchid. I've told you guys this before if you've watched any of my old perfume videos. I love vanilla and I love Orchid. Anytime those two notes are together in a perfume, I love it. Even though I do believe that Orchid is a fantasy note, I don't think that there is actually an Orchid note. It's just something they made up in a lab to personify Orchid. So, very strong perfume, and let me tell you what I get from it. I'm actually going to spray just a little on the cap because I can kind of smell it here. Okay, so when I first spray it, it is strong. It is fruity and floral smelling to me. A little bit solar, and it goes a little bit in the beachy direction, a little bit in the tropical smelling direction, but without smelling coconutty. Doesn't smell like sunscreen, doesn't smell like coconut. It goes a little bit in the sort of more floral, beachy direction. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like tiara flower or something like that, or like ylang ylang. It's giving yellow vibes. It also does smell a little bit banana-y, and this was my mistake when I was watching, or like when I was reading reviews on Fragrantica. A lot of people said they smelled banana, and I don't like smelling banana in perfume. Very few perfumes have I ever smelled with a potent banana note that I actually liked, and I don't want to smell like banana. I don't even really like eating bananas all that much, so I certainly don't want to smell like a banana. And I do get just a little bit of banana, not in the opening, but as it starts to dry down, about the mid. And so this one for me is like pretty, pleasant, floral, a little bit tropical and beachy, but without going coconut sunscreen. And it definitely has a very subtle sort of banana undertone to it. I would say like the banana is like 5%. It's not prominent like it is in something like Ambrosia Imperiale from Navitas Parfums. That one had a very potent banana note, and I actually kind of liked it in that one. But this one is just, it's feminine, it's summery. I do get a lot of vanilla in here. It's definitely very vanilla forward. I'm still not sure how I completely feel about it because, I don't know, it's a little much for me. It's very strong, it's kind of syrupy, and it's nice, but I don't really know if this was Gucci's best adaptation of an Orchid. Like, I think they could have done something a little different, something better. Maybe omit some of the bright, sweet, fruity components and make it more Orchid. Maybe add some other stronger floral notes in there to make it, I don't know. Like, to me, this isn't, I would never have thought this was Gorgeous Orchid. I would have probably called it Gorgeous Banana or something. That's what they should have called it. Gucci Flora Gorgeous Banana. So it is nice. I like the dry down. I will say that when I wore this and I was walking my dog, we were chased by wasps. I could not get away from the wasps. So it obviously smells very sweet and very floral, and they just were hounding me like I could not get rid of them. So I don't really know if I want to wear it next summer either because we have a big wasp population. I think there's a nest somewhere nearby my house. And so it kind of put me off, honestly. The fact that it has like this banana undertone, the fact that it's making wasps come after me, it's not a vibe, I will say that. So this one I'm kind of low-key tempted to sell. I want one of these bottles so badly because they're so pretty. I kind of always envisioned having one because of the flowers, and I just think that they are beautiful bottles. They're very antique looking. I'm wishing I would have got the pink one. I think it's Gorgeous Gardenia. I wish I would have got that one because that one smells like Viva La Juicy. It's like a brown sugar kind of fragrance, brown sugar and floral. And that one I think would have been more me. And I think I probably would have been chased by fewer bees. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this one. I'm obviously not thrilled about it. I low-key regret getting it. It wasn't cheap. I did get a small bottle. This is only a 50 ml. So if anybody wants this and wants to do a trade or something, or wants to buy it from me for super cheap, please let me know. But I have to say, like, I do love the packaging. I mean, even the cap reminds me of the lipstick, the Gucci lipsticks. It's just it's so classy and timeless looking. And I like the dry down more than the opening in the mid. So the deep dry down, plus it's like very strong. You don't need much of it, so the performance is good. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Gorgeous Orchid. All right, the next perfume, this one, why did I decide to get this? Okay, I think I was in Shoppers again one day. Oh yes, here's the story. So I was in Shoppers. I wasn't even looking for perfume. I was just buying like groceries and toilet paper and stuff like that. One of the girls who worked there walked past me, and she smelled so beautiful, and she smelled vanillic, and I couldn't figure out what she was wearing, and I should have asked her, but she was kind of busy doing something, and I just didn't ask her. But I kept thinking about it, and my mind immediately was like, it smells like some sort of celebrity perfume. Like, it didn't smell super expensive, it didn't smell super strong, but it was vanillic and sweet and just very likable. Something about it very, very likable. And my mind kind of thought Ariana Grande Maud Vanilla or Maud Blush or something like that. That's what I was kind of thinking. So the next day I came and I wanted to smell a bunch of perfumes to see if I could figure out what it was that she was wearing. So I told the girl working in cosmetics about what had happened, that I had smelled something on one of her coworkers. She told me, she said, oh, I bet it was Billie Eilish, because I know that if it's who I'm thinking about, she said, I know she was testing out Billie Eilish to see if she wanted to get a bottle. So then she sprayed Eilish for me, and I put it on my skin, and I put it on paper, and I kind of let it sit, and I was like, yes, that's the one she was wearing. And it really kind of sold me on it, because I have smelled this perfume before, and I wrote it off. Like, I did not like it when I first smelled it. When I first sprayed this, when it first came out, which was like well over a year ago, probably longer than that actually, I just thought it was a very sweet, sugary, candy-like fragrance. I thought that it smelled rather cheap. I wasn't into it. However, I had only sprayed it in store on paper, and so I just wasn't really into it at the time. But for some reason this time, when I put it on my skin and when I was smelling it, and especially remembering, it's amazing how smelling a perfume on someone else will completely change your perception of that perfume, because sometimes when you smell it on paper, it's almost too objective. You're like, okay, this is what I'm smelling. I don't know if I like it, but it's that whole sillage when somebody else wears it and they walk past you and you smell it and you say, oh my gosh, you smell amazing. What are you wearing? And they tell you, it can be a big surprise. Like, you never would have thought that was the perfume they were wearing. Okay, so what I get from this perfume, can smell it in the cap. This is a powdery, like to my nose, I don't think it's classified as a powdery, but I get powdery, sort of chocolatey, sweet. I don't get a lot of berries. I do believe that there's red berry. I don't get a lot of that. I get like vanilla, a little bit sugary, a little bit powdery, a little bit chocolatey. There is something candy-like in the background, but it really fades away, and then you're just left with this super addictive vanilla. Very, very addictive, and I never would have described this perfume as addictive or thought that. I never would have, like, I honestly did not think this was ever going to make its way onto my shelves. But yeah, after smelling it on that girl, and then it's just so lovely. So I have worn this probably 2 or 3 days since I got it. I do overspray because I want people to smell me, and I know how wonderful it smells because I've smelled it on someone else, and I want people to smell me. So I've worn this out on a date twice actually. I've worn it for 2 dinner dates, and I've worn it also during the day on like a cooler day in the last couple weeks. And it's just lovely. It has pretty good performance. I do like overspraying this one just because I love how it smells and I want people to smell me. And it's just a really unique and interesting, addictive, sweet vanilla. It's not woody, it's not ambery. Comparing it to something like Kjali Vanilla 28, that one goes in a more, like, this one's sugary, but I would say this one is more white sugar. Whereas Kjali is more brown sugar, and Kjali goes more in that warm ambery direction. This one's a little bit lighter. It's a little lighter and brighter. It's like a bright sugar versus a deep ambery sugar, if that makes sense. And then you have this lovely, like, chocolatey, excuse my voice, this lovely chocolatey kind of touch to it, and it makes it just a little powdery, like just a touch of cocoa powder or something. And it's just quite lovely and quite addictive. So yeah, there is also a dent in here already. There's a little dent. I don't know if you can see it. I've been wearing my perfumes. Like I say, I don't go a day now that I do my hair and my makeup and put on a dress that I don't wear perfume. I've just been doing it more often, and it's been quite nice. So the next perfume is a dupe of this, and I'll explain to you why I got it. And I will do a separate video maybe comparing the two, but I'll talk a little bit here about the differences. Okay, the last perfume, you guys. This is an Arabic perfume, and this is from Lattafa, and this is called Nebras, Nebras. With these Lattafa Arabic perfumes, I have a really hard time remembering the names of some of them, because some of them are just, they're different, it's a different language, and I just have a harder time remembering them. Luckily, this one does say on the side what it is. So, Nebras. This is the bottle. This I think is 100 ml. Very, very affordable. I got this because a friend of mine, I had told her that I had gotten Eilish, and she has this perfume, and she said, if you like Eilish, she said, you have to try Nebras. She said it's basically the same thing. It smells very similar, but in her opinion, it was better and had better performance and all of that kind of stuff. I looked online, and this bottle was like $41. I could not believe it. And I thought, you know what, for $41, I'm going to get it. I'm going to compare them, because my daughter also loves Eilish and wants Eilish. And I was like, if I like this just as much or better, I'll give her Eilish and I'll keep this for myself. So I was like, I want to try it. I was like, that way too, I can also review it for YouTube. Why not? It's like a win-win situation. And I have smelled a couple from Lattafa before. I can't remember the one that I smelled, but I didn't like it. And then I also actually had Yara. Yara was gifted to me from Fragrance By a long time ago. And at the time, I didn't really like Yara. It was too sweet for me and smelled too young and too girly and sweet. I wasn't really a big fan. Plus, I hated the bottle. I just don't like big, chunky bottles, which that's going to be the only thing about this brand that I think is going to put me off a little bit. Is I prefer like a more sleek, feminine, cute bottle, not something big and chunky. Like this isn't something I necessarily want to see sitting on my dresser. But so this is Nebras. Now, when I got this, you guys, and I smelled it, I could not believe how close it was to Eilish. I don't know if this was meaning to dupe Eilish, or if it was just inspired by, or if it just happens to be a big coincidence and it smells very similar to Eilish, but it smells very similar to Eilish. But also I couldn't believe how good it smelled. And also it does have really good performance. It's stronger. And there's something about this that I almost like better than Eilish. They're both great. Like just now smelling Eilish, I was like, oh, this is so nice. But this one also has bits and pieces where I smell it and I think, oh my gosh, this is so good, and maybe even better than Eilish. So again, I don't have the notes in front of me. I have a basic idea of what's in here. I will put them on the screen for you. But, oh yeah, and the lid is broken. So this was the other thing. The cap, this thing, like, is not on properly. So I have to stick it in there. That's the only problem. I'm going to have to super glue this. But, okay. All right. So the other thing about Lattafa perfumes, and I guess Arabic perfumes in general, is people are saying, and again, I haven't watched any perfume reviews, I haven't watched any perfume Lattafa videos, I have no idea what people are saying are good. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. More on that in a second. I have no idea what people are saying about this or what people are saying about other perfumes. The only info I have about these perfumes is what my friend told me, and she said these perfumes really need to sit and macerate, because especially with vanilla perfumes, they smell better as time goes on, because the vanilla becomes richer, deeper, and darker. The performance is going to improve, and so it might smell good right now, but give it like a few months and come back to it. And just the same way that Kali Vanilla 28 becomes deeper, richer, and darker and more ambery, these kind of do the same thing. That's kind of the rule of thumb with most fragrances. But at first sniff, so it smells very similar to Billie Eilish, and I'm sure that the performance on this will improve. Billie Eilish smells more potent to me at the moment, but this one smells high quality. Like this one I would say smells higher quality than Billie Eilish. I feel like it's made with better ingredients. I don't know for sure. And what I get from this one, so it smells similar to Eilish, but I would say Eilish is a little sweeter and has more of a sugary touch to it, where this one has more of a powderiness and maybe a little bit more of like a chocolatiness to it. That's just what I pick up. I will put the notes on the screen and so you can like see the difference between the two. And I could be totally off in left field, but what I get from this one, I get very similar to Eilish, not so much of a berry, fruity, candy feel. Lots of vanilla still sugary sweet, but not so tooth achingly sweet. Like it's a little more balanced, I think. And then I get like powdery, almost chocolatiness, but not that it comes full forward chocolate. Like it's not like chocolate greedy from Montal where you straight up smell like Cocoa Puffs. It's not like hot chocolate mix or something, or chocolate cake. It's just, it has like this like powdery cocoa vibe to it, and just smells really darn good. Like it just smells really darn good. So that's Nebras. This just came to me the other day. I have not sprayed it on skin yet. I haven't given it a full wear. I can't talk to you about performance. This is just my very first impression, but I wanted to share it with you guys in today's video because it's kind of part of the collective haul, I guess. And now that I have gotten that out of the way, I did order a small number of these Lattafa perfumes because I wanted to do a Lattafa perfume haul and review. I know that seems like it's coming out of left field. I'm sure some people are probably thinking that seems a little weird because you've been talking so long about how you wanted to get your collection down to 5 perfumes, which I did. It's obviously not at 5 perfumes at the moment, but like I said, just because I got my collection down doesn't mean I don't want to still explore. It doesn't mean I'm never going to buy perfumes. It doesn't mean that one day I might not let my collection grow a little bit. It doesn't mean that I don't still love fragrance. I've really been undergoing a lot of personal transformation over the last couple months, and I feel like I've sort of wiped my slate clean a little bit, where I got rid of all expectations, all sponsorship obligations, all the box and the walls that I had myself in, where I was like, I'm a perfume reviewer, I'm a minimalist, I'm this, I'm that. Like, I don't have to be anything. I just have to be myself, and I just have to do what makes me happy. And so I feel like I've gotten down to that point where I'm like, I'm just me, living life, and not being too hard on myself, and not trying to fit into somebody's mold of what they think I should be. And unfortunately on this channel, it was like very divided. It was like, I'm either a minimalist or I'm either buying and reviewing perfumes and collecting. It's like, you can't be both. Which one is it? So that was a struggle for me for a long time. And I feel like I definitely got back down to my minimalist roots with a lot of things. However, like I said in a more recent video, I don't think I can consider myself a minimalist anymore. I just can't. I am organized. I like things to be clean, clutter-free. I like to focus on what brings me joy. I like to declutter things that are no longer bringing me joy. I like to curate. I definitely want to only have things I love and use and that make me happy, but I definitely don't think I can call myself a true minimalist anymore like I was 5 or 6 years ago. I think that I've just changed and evolved enough. I can say that now I truly just am living my best version of myself in my life, and I share it with you guys here, whatever it turns out to be, whatever it manifests into. So yeah, please don't be too hard on me. I know that it's like a little confusing, but like I said recently on my Instagram, I am living my life in real time and sharing it with you guys, and at the same time trying to please everyone, like trying to please companies, trying to please my audience, trying to please ideas of me, and interpretations of myself, and basically like everybody but myself. I've been so outwardly focused, and now I feel like I'm finally focusing on myself. And so yeah, so anyways, we're gonna have a little Lattafa perfume review, haul and review. Basically, I'll tell you later, but I ordered some perfumes. I went through the notes. I didn't look at reviews. I just looked at notes and looked at what they are supposed dupes of, and I chose a few, and they're all blind, and it's going to be so exciting. I'm going to do it all with you guys on camera, and I can't tell you how excited I am because I haven't done this in a really long time. So that is the last perfume in today's video. That is, again, Nebras from Lattafa. So that's it, you guys. That's where we're at right now. I did pull my Viktor and Rolf out of my keepsake box where I had it, because I recently had a sample of this sent to me actually, and just like a free with purchase with a Sephora order, and it was a brand new sample obviously, and it smelled so good. I actually thought it must have been a different perfume, and I looked and it was just the original Flower Bomb Eau de Parfum. So this is a really old bottle. This bottle's like 5 years old or something, and it definitely doesn't smell the way it did when I first got it, and I think that's maybe why I quit wearing it, because it's just gotten so sweet and it smells kind of old now. So I think I would like a new bottle of this, because Flower Bomb for me is still where it's at. Like, Flower Bomb has been a signature scent of mine since For like 9 years, literally for about 9 years, almost 10 years, I have been wearing Flower Bomb, and it's used to be my signature scent, and it's one of my favorite perfumes. But yeah, this particular bottle is just so old, and it just smells very, very sweet, and I think that's why I got sick of it. And I told you guys in like other videos, I was like, it's becoming too sweet for me, and I thought, is that just me? Like, are my tastes changing, or is it the bottle? I wasn't really sure, but I actually have a sample. I'll show you. This one right here. So I actually have a sample of it. It's obviously lighter juice. It's brand new, and it smells so good, just like how I remember Victor & Rolf Flower Bomb smelling. And so that was what kind of prompted me to dig this out. I was like, it's not me changing. I still love the perfume. It's just the bottle is old. So this is still like a nice keepsake, but I kind of low-key want to get a new bottle of it because I feel like very little beats Flower Bomb. Like, you can't go wrong with Flower Bomb, you guys. That's just how I feel. It's sophisticated, it's sweet, it has a sexiness to it. It's like signature scent worthy, office appropriate, date appropriate. You just can't go wrong. It's a jack of all trades, and it is truly, truly a wonderful perfume. So anyway, that's what we have on my tray right now, and I'm super excited to get these other Lattafa perfumes. Yeah, I just cannot wait. We're gonna do a good old-fashioned blind buy haul and first impressions, and I'm so excited to do that. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy that. And also, if you haven't checked out my other channel, please feel free to go ahead and do that. My other channel is dedicated to all things beauty. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do perfume content over there or if I'm going to keep the perfume content here. I'm debating whether I should do the Lattafa video here or on my new channel. I'm trying to decide. So anyways, that's it for today's video. Please write me on Instagram if you have any questions or comments. And thank you so much for being here with me today. And I'll see you all very soon in my next video, and have a wonderful start to your fall.